guys, it's V. So today I thought that I would do sort of a comparison and review type video of the new Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Caramel Toffee. And this is what it looks like here. This is only available at Walmart, and mine was, I want to say, $3.99 or so, and I had to drive around to like 3 different Walmarts to find this because it wasn't at every single one, which is slightly annoying, but I did it anyway. So first thing I thought I would do would be sort of just a swatch and then a demo of how this one goes on and how it looks, and then I thought that I would swatch it next to my Anastasia contour kit in light and see how the colors in this palette compare to the colors in this palette, because I feel that they're very similar. If you can go from a $40 product to a $4 product, 10% of the price, I don't think that that's very bad. So we'll see if this actually does compare to each other. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the colors for you guys. I love how big this palette is. I really wish that it did have a mirror on the top, but then again, I'm not bringing my contour with me, so I'm gonna be doing it at home, so I don't really need a mirror. But it is always nice to have one, but you know, that's okay. I can live without it. So let's go ahead and swatch these. They are very buttery, super buttery, and that's what they look like on the hand, on the fingers, I guess. And then this is what they look like. I'm just trying to think about how I can do this. So this, is what they look like at first glance on the hand. They are a little bit powdery, but I personally don't mind that. I think that it's useful for them to be a little bit more powdery, and it makes them go onto my skin a little bit better. They don't really look chalky to me personally, so that doesn't really bother me too much. But I really love this brown color. It is super pretty. I love how, like, it may not look super cool toned on my hand here, but it is really cool toned, and I love that about it. I think that it's a perfect contour color. So I am just going to apply this contour on my face with my Real Techniques contour brush. It does kick up a little bit of product on there, as you can see, but it goes on pretty well. So I'm just going to apply this onto my cheekbones here. I feel like this contour is very cool, but it's not too cool to where it looks muddy, because a lot of cool contours can definitely look muddy, like the Anastasia contour that I am going to be comparing it to soon. So that is what it looks like on the face. I think that it does a really nice job of giving a defined cheekbone. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on the other side. Oh, there's an eyelash on my face. Sorry, that's probably been bugging you guys the whole time. So that is the contour on that side of my face. So personally, I love the contour in this palette. I love it. I think that it's a really pretty contour. I think that it really defines the cheekbones nicely, but doesn't look muddy. And I think that even though it's a little bit powdery, that it still works really well for that. I also think that these eyeshadows would make a really amazing eye look, like just a really subtle, just neutral eye look. I think that these would be amazing for that. I mean, like, just have the lighter one all over the lid and then have this darker one just in the crease a little bit. You could get a super simple eye look, and that makes this multifunctional, which makes it even better because it was only $4. So now I'm going to go ahead and swatch the Anastasia contour kit colors next to these Wet n Wild contour colors and see how they compare. So firstly, I'm going to take this one, which is more of a bronzery color from this palette, and I'm gonna swatch that first. So that one looks really similar to it. I do think that the Wet n Wild one is cooler, and the Wet n Wild is definitely not as pigmented, but that doesn't really bother me, because when you're doing contour, you don't want crazy pigmentation. You just want, like, I mean, in my opinion, I just want like a subtle contour. So I think that one is definitely a lot more pigmented, but it's a little bit warmer. So this one I'm swatching now is the coolest color in the Anastasia contour kit, and I'm going to go ahead and swatch that in the middle here. Now that one, honestly, I still feel like it looks warmer than the Wet n Wild. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like that one still looks really warm. And I know that that one is supposed to be the cool one. So I don't know. I think that that one, that's the one that I've been using for my contour, but I do feel like that one's looked kind of muddy, in my opinion, on my skin. I don't really find that it's very nice on my skin. So now I'm going to swatch the darkest contour color in this palette, which I haven't even touched. I haven't used it at all because it is just way too dark for my skin. Maybe if I get tan this summer, I can use it. But yeah, that one is definitely a lot warmer than the Wet n Wild as well. So the Wet n Wild, I would have to say, is my favorite out of all of these shades, which is kind of sad because I paid like $42 for this and I paid $4 for the Wet n Wild. But you know, what are you gonna do? So now I'm going to swatch the lightest, well, this is what I had been using to set my under eye area, this light shade from the Anastasia contour kit. And I really liked it for setting my under eye area, except for it went away, like I used it really quickly because it wasn't as pigmented. So if I can find a drugstore dupe that's like similar to it, then that would be awesome because then I wouldn't pay as much to replace it. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that one. So honestly, those two, okay, let me get a little bit closer. Can you see those two? Okay, so this is the Wet n Wild, which is definitely more powdery. And then the Anastasia, I can barely even see the Anastasia, and I can see this one really well. This one is definitely more pinky than the Anastasia, and honestly the Wet n Wild is a little bit more pigmented than the Anastasia. I'm going to use this to sort of highlight my under eye area right now, and I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush for that. And I'm just going to use a little bit of it down the nose and up onto the forehead area. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of it underneath the contour that I did earlier. It is very powdery, I will give it that. It is super, super powdery. But for $4, I could deal with a little bit of powder fallout, so I'm not really too worried about that. But all in all, I really do like this palette. I feel like it's got some really pretty colors that are definitely comparable, but not the same as the Anastasia contour kit. But for $4, this I think is a great value, and you can use it, like I said, for an eye look also. And I think that the contour is really pretty in this. So like I said, this is the Caramel Toffee shade. They do have one more shade, but I believe it was either too dark or too warm for me. So I think this one is really, really good for people with similar skin tones to mine, maybe a little bit darker, but this contour is not very dark. So honestly, I feel like this would look really, really good on pale skin tones the best. And it's definitely not harsh. It's a really good, I feel like, beginner's contour. So if you're just now starting out doing contouring and you don't want to do anything harsh, if you don't want to make yourself look too orange or you don't want to make yourself look too muddy, then I think this would be the perfect starter kit for you to start contouring with, and you don't have to go out and spend $42 on the Anastasia contour when you may not even understand how to use it really. So I definitely think this one is a good affordable option and is very comparable to the Anastasia. So that was my review slash comparison of the Wet n Wild contouring palette. If you guys like this video, be sure to show some love to that like button down there, and if you subscribe, you can be one of my gypsies and every single one of you counts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Also, let me know what type of videos you guys would like me to do because I want to please. You know, if there's any new makeup products that you guys want me to try out or anything like that, please let me know. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!